India has been battling the COVID-19 pandemic. I have India's best known virologist, Professor T. Jacob John. Professor Jacob John, has India been able to manage the COVID-19 pandemic well, in your opinion?
Well, you have to define what uh, handling it well is. In general, we have gone past the epidemic phase. Three waves are over. We are now in the endemic phase, and we are all relaxed a little bit, and we are not even wearing masks at this time. So the numbers, daily numbers, are so low that we are feeling relaxed. Yes, so India has got over the pandemic.
But do you think the management was good, bad, indifferent? If I were to ask you, mark on a scale of 10, 10 being excellent and 1 being poor, where would you mark India's handling of the COVID-19 pandemic?
That is a controversial issue, as everybody knows, that we never succeeded in flattening the first curve. So the first curve lasted 11 months, and it was a symmetrical bell-shaped curve. So people ask a question whether that was the natural phenomenon of the virus or not. So I don't have a particular view on that. When the second wave came, Delta, which was actually detected in India during the last quarter of 2019, not given any particular respect to Delta, it blew up as the second wave. It was a huge wave. That was a
I contracted COVID during the second wave.
Yes. So, and a lot of people lost their lives during that second wave. Huge number. And everybody knows that India couldn't count the actual number, but the gory pictures of bodies floating in Ganges and the funeral pyres, etc. So that was a nightmarish wave. And then for 25 weeks we are in the endemic phase, and then came the Omicron. And Omicron was not a big problem in the sense that it didn't affect the lungs, didn't cause oxygen going down. Yeah, so therefore it was not a big problem. But people who were above 65 and people who had comorbidities, they had their comorbidity made worse by Omicron, and people have died. Or the old people have died of systemic illness. So overall, the whole nightmare is behind us.
Now, in COVID-19, we also saw the development of what can easily be called the first really indigenous vaccine in India, the Covaxin. And as I am told and as I understand, it's as close to a natural infection as it can be. What vaccine did you take? And do you think Covaxin is a vaccine which the world should embrace?
Yeah, Covaxin uses the platform of killed virus technology. Killed virus with an adjuvant that increases the cell-mediated T-cell response also. Now, killed viruses do not multiply in the body, and it does not induce extraordinary inflammatory response, which some of the other vaccines do. So, based on the assessment of the safety, I could predict that Covaxin would be a much safer vaccine than the other vaccines. Therefore, I took Covaxin.
You took Covaxin?
I took Covaxin, both the priming doses and a booster dose, because vaccinology teaches us that with an inactivated virus vaccine, you want higher protection, you take one more booster. So you decide what level of protection you want. So 6 months after the second dose, I took a booster dose. So, but that is a personal judgment in terms of...
Yeah, but we also saw the development of mRNA vaccines, adenovirus vaccines. We also saw the DNA vaccine, these new platforms which were completely untested. And here you have a tested, well understood platform. Do you think the world should go more towards this? Because also variants it covers, I am told.
That is not a simple matter, because Bharat Biotech was able to manufacture Covaxin only because it happened to have a BSL-3 unit already made, not for making vaccines for COVID, but for the protection of staff. Because it was available, it could be used for a killed virus vaccine. If the whole world went after whole virus inactivated vaccine, that would have delayed things remarkably. Now, mRNA vaccine can be made in 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 1 month, 2 months. So for the emergency need, which the pandemic challenged the world
Correct.
with, mRNA vaccine was a beautiful response. I would say the same thing about the adenovirus vaccine. However, that also upscaling the manufacture and all that was excellent. So they served their purpose, just like OPV served its purpose against polio. Now, here I am bringing this question of benefit-risk ratio. When the wild virus is very large in numbers and affecting lots of people, any vaccine, the faster it can produce, the better it is. Whereas as things settle down, you don't want to give a vaccine which causes too much reaction to normal people. So you then come back to a platform like whole virus inactivated vaccine, or a protein antigen, which is again a known and safe technology. Other vaccines will have to stand the test of time. Only future will tell us.
I can't resist but ask you, are we over with the COVID-19 pandemic? 2 years we have been suffering, or will we see more of this?
Every monsoon ends. Every pandemic ends. And I believe this pandemic is over. And the last ripples of this will be in China, New Zealand, Hong Kong, Taiwan, those areas where the previous waves were suppressed remarkably. Zero COVID policy, and New Zealand and Australia did not have much of a first wave. So they are suffering from Omicron, but then it's not a bad idea. Omicron is a blessing in disguise. They infect, but mortality is very low. With all this, my personal opinion, gut feeling, is that the pandemic is over. We are not going to get a fourth wave. Mathematical modeling is tricky. That is based on as if the virus is a physical force. It's not a biological force. The mutations are unpredictable. Omicron mutation was totally unpredicted. So further mutations are unpredictable, but you don't live in fear forever. When mutations occur, you find them out, and then you study them. So we will have enough time. And we have vaccines already available. So we are not worried about an unexpected turn of events causing another wave. Very unlikely.
So that was Professor Jacob John giving us heartening news that the COVID-19 pandemic may be over, and that the high vaccination rates in India could be a blessing, and that we need not live in fear of the SARS-CoV-2 virus. If it mutates, we will find solutions. I think one of the best pieces of news I have heard in a very long time. Thanks a lot for speaking to us, Professor Jacob John. Always a delight speaking to you. In New Delhi, Pallava, Bagla.